Hi guys, I was down in the plant room and I discovered that some of my cacti friends have a bad case of mealy bugs. And so once again, mealy bugs strike again. And some of their favorite plants are the Echinobivia rainbow bursts. And then also Gymnocalacium are extra delicious for mealy bugs. So I've already cleaned off these two little guys once or twice, keeping an eye on them. But it seems like I really need to get on top of it. I'm going to be using some rubbing alcohol and water and Q-tips and doing my best to clean out these ridges, which are full of the mealy bugs. And then I'm going to be spraying with neem oil, which is a bonite product. So we'll see how that works. I'm hoping I can get on top of it. I haven't actually sprayed any neem oil yet this winter, but it looks like I'm really going to have to, because the problem can get out of control really fast. If you look over here, there's lots of mealybugs. So it's really important to turn your plants around, look at them from every angle, and make sure that you're on top of it. You have to remove them, and then you also have to treat it. So this has worked for me in the past. I always lose a few plants in the winter time. They're just more susceptible to mealybugs, and but I'm going to try to save these guys and help them make it through to the growing season. So the first thing I'm going to do is take some alcohol and water. I've already added some of my 70% rubbing alcohol, just readily available at any grocery store or drugstore or Target, any place you shop where there's pharmacy items. And then after I clean off my plants, I'm going to be spraying them down completely with neem oil, and of course keeping an eye on things. So let me go ahead and just try to get right on here and get all the bugs off that I can visibly see. It's hard to film and do this at the same time, but I'm going to go ahead and do that, just getting into each of the ridges. Make sure that I go underneath the plant as best I can too. So I'll come back after I have it all cleaned up, and we'll spray it with neem oil. Okay guys, I've quickly discovered that the Q-tips are a little bit too wide to fit into these crevices. So I've changed course and I've decided to use a paintbrush, and I'm just going to keep dipping that back in the alcohol and the water solution. And that seems to do a much better job of getting into where I need to go, especially underneath these babies, which if I have to, I'll end up removing them, but I'd really like to save the babies. A year or two ago, I had to remove all the babies to save this cactus, and I'm really going to try to avoid that next time. But look at how much I got off. It's very effective. So I highly recommend using a paintbrush for this part of the process when you're removing those mealybugs from all of those hard to reach areas. That's working really well. So I'm gonna continue on with this, and once it's all clean, we'll spray it. Okay, so 2 of the 3 plants are cleaned off. I just wanted to use the third plant as an example of showing you exactly where they like to hide. So in the case of my Echinobivia rainbow bursts, a lot of them were hiding in the ridges and underneath these cactus pups here. There was a lot under here, which I hopefully was able to clean out under the babies. And on here, you always have to check the areoles. They seem to, it might be a more tender spot for them to eat. I don't know, but they seem to like to be on the areoles. And also, they kind of try to hide in the ridges. And another thing is, if your plant curves underneath towards the soil, you always want to make sure you go to the very bottom of the plant and check and see if they're hiding there. Here's a big batch right here, which I'll clean up. But I've basically gone over the whole plant just to make sure that I've gotten eggs as well. So I've done a very tedious and thorough job, and I'll just finish with this last one, and then all 3 of these are going to get a good spray. The other place that sometimes they like to congregate is on the growing point, right in the middle. So you'll often find a lot of mealy bugs in there. So let me finish off with this job, and we'll give it a good spray. Okay guys, I've cleaned it from every single angle, and I've gone over almost every inch of the cacti. I paid special attention underneath the babies and in the crevices and on the aerials, and in this case there were quite a lot of mealy bugs down by the soil. So always make sure you get under your plant. And I would say that the paintbrush was the best way to get into those hard to reach areas. And now it's time for me to spray with the neem oil. And I'm just going to get at it from every different angle. This is the easy part. And really drench it as well as the soil. Another tip is to spray, I can't do it with one hand, but give a spray to the bottom of the pot, because sometimes they like to go underneath the pot and lay their eggs there. So if you have neem oil on the bottom of your pot, that's going to prevent that from happening. So guys, wish me luck. I hopefully have saved these wonderful plants. They already look a lot better, but I will be checking on them every day or two and make sure that I really did nip this problem in the bud. And hopefully it won't affect any of my other cacti. So I hope you're not having any pest troubles this winter. And I will see you next time. Bye.